All right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shamak. I have the Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before I get started with the lesson, I want to first start by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Wachakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to our sincere brothers that's pushing, teaching truth all around the four corners of the world. All right, and shalom to our sincere listeners and you sincere believers. Okay, here with a lesson concerning the lunar Sabbath. All right. Based upon, inspired around this comment here I received on a video a couple days back. Okay, as you see here from the user, Debak Ban Yahawada. Okay, and it reads, and it came out very sincere. All right, so it reads, I need help because I'm lost. How did we skip Thursday evening to Friday evening for the Sabbath? We went from the Wednesday evening to Thursday evening to Friday evening to the Saturday evening. I'm just trying to get a better understanding. All right, and it's truly a good question. All right, because the Sabbath we rehearse the righteous acts, and that's part of the law, statutes, and commandments as an Hebrew Israelite, as an awakened Hebrew Israelite. Okay, for you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are to rehearse and attempt to keep the Sabbath to the best of our ability. You know, no working on the Sabbath, no cooking on the Sabbath, no sexual intercourse on the Sabbath. These such things, you know, these are commandments of the Lord our power, man. So it's important to acknowledge it. To acknowledge this, to acknowledge the Sabbath, to keep it. And rehearse it to the best of our ability. All right, and one of those ways would be keeping it through the lunar Sabbath and not by Esau Edom's, Sabbath, because through their logic, the Sabbath is every Sunday. That's what you have within the church. Okay, because they worship the sun. It's surrounded a revolutionized through the sun. Okay, but we can get back this up directly with the scriptures. Okay, all right. But first, I wanted to grab the Hebrew word. Let's get lunar. Let's first get the definition of lunar. It says of determined by or resembling the moon. Okay, so how do we keep the Sabbath in the ancient times? You must ask yourself that question. How do we keep the Sabbath in the ancient times? All right, and then also the Gregorian calendar. It's all based upon the moon. All right, but when you had a Gregorian calendar, which Esau, even the so-called white man, uses today. He uses this calendar, and it reads from the Wikipedia. It says the Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most of the world. It was introduced in October 1582. So that's a red sign and a red flag right there. All right. So it just came about in the 1500s, man, along with the English language. That's how you know in the ancient times we spoke Hebrew. All right. And we kept it by the moon. All right. But it says by Pope Gregory, all right, the 13th, as a minor modification of the Julian calendar, reducing the average year of 365 days. All right, let's see. And it says, and adjusting for the drift in the tropical or solar year that the inaccuracy had caused during the intervening centuries. It says, look at it, it says the calendar spaces leap years to make its average year 365 days long. See, you know what I'm saying? Approximating the 365.2422 day tropical year that is determined by the Earth revolution around the sun, the rule for leap years. Okay, so there you have it, man. Just quickly, straight to the point around this what this Gregorian calendar upholds, man. All right, and this is giving you reason why we're to observe and to keep and rehearse the lunar calendar, man, based off the moon. All right, but when you go into the word. Let's go back. When you go into the word moon, all right, in the Hebrew, it's Chadash, all right, Chadash, all right, and what do you have? It says the new moon, but what does it say? Month, all right? So when you go into the Hebrew term, you understand that we're supposed to keep it by the month, all right? And with the calendar of Esau Edom, the so-called white man's, all right, he changed times, all right? It's different. You can't go by the same days every week. It's some Israelite camps that teach it's the Friday to Saturday Sabbath every week, and it's not the same. All right, because some months, February has 28 days, some months have 30 days, some months have 31 days, so it throws off the calendar. All right, well, truly, you just observe the moon and count from there. All right, and when there's a new moon, that's a Sabbath. All right, that's a new month. So when there's a new moon, there's a new month. Okay, and with that being said, all right, so the Hebrew word for there is Chadash. All right, which that's the Hebrew word for moon, which means month. All right. So from there, we're going to grab Sirach 43. All right, we should back up the point. This is Sirach 43, verse 6. So it's not going to be the same every month. The days on the Sabbath may not be the same every month. Okay, so that's how you make. That's how we can switch from it. From 1 month, it can be the new moon came in on a Wednesday evening. All right, so the Sabbath would be Wednesday evening to Thursday evening. Then the next month, the new moon probably will come on Thursday evening, which will you have back-to-back Sabbath because you still have your weekly Sabbath, which is the 7 days from the new moon. All right, you still have your weekly Sabbath, but then you have a back-to-back because there's a new moon, a new month approaching because of the new moon. So you can have a back-to-back Sabbath as well. So the Sabbath will basically transition from 1 month to another from their periodic days. Okay, if that makes sense, Lord willing. All right. So this is Sirach 43 verse 6, and it reads, "He made the moon." Who is it speaking about? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Heavenly Father's true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. All right. It says He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So we're supposed to use the moon. We're supposed to observe the moon. All right, for the season and times. All right. It says for verse 7, "From the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection." All right. And when is the moon is perfected? In the full moon. All right. It says verse 8. It says the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. All right. So there you have it, man. We're supposed to observe the moon. Okay. Which brings in the lunar Sabbath, man. All right. Let me also grab Isaiah. All right. Let me get Daniel because I did mention that Esau, he did change the times. Okay. It's Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. Okay, and it reads, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High." And this is Esau. It says, "And he shall wear out the saints of the Most High, who are the Israelites of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and thinks to change times and laws." And that's what he have done with the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar, man. That's what he did. All right, he fulfilled this scripture, man. It says, "And they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times and dividing of a time." All right. So there you have it, 350 year. You know, times being 100 in the scriptures. Okay. So that's a 100. Then you have 200. That's 300. Then dividing of time, which is 50. That would be 50. So that's 350 years. Okay. But going back to Isaiah 66, let me grab that. Referring back to that new moon. All right. Or the lunar Sabbath, I should say. This is Isaiah 66, verse 22. It reads, "For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain." Verse 23, "And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord." Okay, because in essence, man, a new moon is represented as a Sabbath. And we'll back this up with Leviticus chapter 23. See if I can get it. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24. Yep, that should do it. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24. And it reads, "Speak unto the children of Israel," because that's who this word in these laws, statutes, commandments are truly for, the nation of Israel, the Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans out there, okay? It says, saying, "In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath." See, the first day of the month, that's the new moon, man. It says, "Memorial of blowing of the trumpets and holy convocation." All right, so that's truly, we're to uphold the new moons, man. All right, and in this context in Leviticus chapter 23 is going into the Day of Atonement. When you go down to verse 27, I'll read verse 27. All right, and it reads, says, "And also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a Day of Atonement." All right, so it's telling you how to observe the time. So when that 7th month comes in of the year, all right, so from that first day, which is a new moon, that's how you observe it. So count 10 days from that. That will be represented and held and worshipped as the Day of Atonement for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for the Israelites to atone for their sins. All right, so that should prove to you that we're supposed to use and worship. Well, not worship Salakia. We're supposed to observe the moon to correctly and to the best of our ability worship Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because this is what He commanded us to do, and this is how He commanded us to keep His time. You know. Well, verse 27 again says, "Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a Day of Atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offering made by fire unto the Lord." Okay, so in the Old Testament, we sent up those burnt offerings, but now we have Yahweh Shai. That's the importance of Yahweh Shai, and to acknowledge Yahweh Shai, man. We just send up through faith, man. Okay, we don't rehearse the the animal sacrifices anymore. We don't. That is all done away with through Yahweh Shai, and it is spoken about in the book of Hebrews. All right. Let's see what else I wanted. I did want to grab Psalms 81. All right. But Lord willing, that brought home the point of the lunar, the lunar Sabbath. Okay. This is Psalms 81 verse 3, and it reads. See, that backs up the point with the scriptures I brought before, Isaiah and Leviticus 23. It's Psalms 81 verse 3, and I ended off here. Okay. Psalms 81 verse 3. It says, "Blow up the trumpet in the new moon because it's a holy convocation." When Israel used to send out spiritual warnings, we blow the trumpet, man. It says, "Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day." Okay, because new moon is truly it will be a feast day prepared before the Sabbath comes in. It says, "For this was a statute of Israel and a law of the Most High, or the power of Jacob." All right. So this is for the Israelites. Okay. Directly and strictly referring to the lunar Sabbath, that is, man, in this particular lesson. All right. So Lord willing, that brought home the point of how the Sabbath does change based upon the moon. It's all about when the new moon comes in. When a new moon comes in, you count the 7 days from there. Do you have your weekly Sabbaths? All right. And then when the next new moon arises, that would be a new month. All right. It's simple as can be. All right. The Lord made it very simple for us, man. Okay, and it's not going to be the same every month because Esau days don't even line up correctly. Some months have 30, some months have 28, some months have 31. All right, so we go to base our time off the moon, referring to the Bible. That's how the Holy Bible teaches us to observe the Sabbath. Okay, and it's based upon the moon. All right, upon the Chadash. All right, so Lord willing, that was edifying, exhorting to you sincere listeners and to you sincere believers. I want to end out by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And obviously it's tabernacle day. Hey, Shalom. Shalom. Keep the faith. Shalom.